Terraria is a game, and this game happens to be incredibly difficult. You see, you must travel the world to find better ores for armor and weapons, and chests for a multitude of items such as accessories and potions. But we are going to skip past most of that and head straight to the boss fights. You see, the first boss is the Eye of Cthulhu. The Eye of Cthulhu is a great introduction to the physical pain and suffering Terraria tends to induce. The next boss is the Brain of Cthulhu. The Brain of Cthulhu is a giant brain that has these demon-looking creepers that protects it. But once you kill all of those, it sheds its shields and shows its mortal form. Now that has been destroyed, you make... Skeletron is the fight that put me in the hospital. You see, upon seeing his celestial form, my heart did a double backflip and my kidney whipped, nay-nayed, and turned to dust. But if you can break through and manage to kill him, you are granted with amazing items from the dungeon. The next boss is a Wall of Flesh. The Wall of Flesh is a wall of flesh. You see, if you kill it, you're entering hard mode. Hard mode is the next stage of the game, where you get access to many more bosses and much more loot. The next boss is the Destroyer. The Destroyer is a giant worm that all you need to do to defeat is hit one of his multiple segments. All of these damage him equally, and he dies relatively quickly as long as you use the correct equipment. Next is Skeletron Prime. Skeletron Prime is basically just Skeletron, but upgraded. Skeletron Prime has 2 extra arms. One of his arms shoots lasers, the other one launches bombs. He is also pretty easy to kill. Next is the Twins. The Twins is just the Eye of Cthulhu, but there's 2 of them. Pretty easy to kill. Next up is Plantera. Plantera is generally easy to kill, as long as you have the right equipment, of course. As you can see, I shredded it in about 10 seconds. Now that that's over, and we're on the set of Jumanji, let's move over to Golem. Golem is a very easy boss, probably one of the easiest in the game. Most Terraria players agree with that. He's quite easy. All you have to do is take out his 2 hands, his head, and then he has a final body, which is also very easy to delete. Next is the Celestial Pillars. The Celestial Pillars are 4 different enemies that are guarded by 100 different special enemies each. Once you kill those 100 enemies, a shield on them will pop, and you can directly damage the pillar. Once you kill these 4 pillars, the final boss will spawn in. I've decided to only show one of these pillar fights. And finally, we've made it to the final boss, the Moonlord. The Moonlord's a pretty difficult boss. You see, you must take out the 2 eyes in its hands and the one in its forehead. The one in its forehead only temporarily opens at certain points in the fight. You must take it out in these points before you die. Once you take all of these out, its core will open and you can kill it. Now for some history. Terraria is a video game developed by Relogic. It was first released as a game for Microsoft Windows on May 16, 2011. Terraria is the world's 4th most sold video game, with over 35 million sold copies as of March 2021. The developers of Relogic and Terraria are Whitney Spinks and her husband Andy Spinks.